Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about why people who argue about incline versus flat bench or barbells versus dumbbells have really missed the plot here. And the funny thing is, I've got a fair number of pretty strong benchers. I don't always put all of their footage up because some of them are more private, but you guys have seen some of my guys who are benching 405 plus. But I'm going to use some of my people who are up in the mid 300s and some of the background here. And the thing is, with my lifters, we don't think in terms of, oh, what is the best just for our chest, because we're chasing maximum hypertrophy. Of course we are. But here's what you're going to notice. When you guys watch my vlogs, you look at clips I put up, you're going to see my lifters doing flat benching, right? And you're going to see it with barbells. You're going to see close grip. You're going to see wide grip. You're going to see them do it with specialty bars. You're going to see everything from buffalo bars to football bars, axle bars, McDonald's bars, everything used if they have access. Okay, and this can be for max work. It can be for repetition effort work. You're going to see them use dumbbells for flat. Same thing with incline. You're going to see a lot of my lifters do incline benching for maxes, max effort work. You're going to see it for repetition effort work. You're going to see barbells. You're going to see dumbbells. Same thing with decline. All right, we saw Mike early on in here doing a max on a decline flat bench. Well, decline bench, it's not flat bench. All right, we're going to see speed work. You're going to see speed work against bands, against chains, rotating grips. But here's the thing that it comes down to. These are all valuable tools. And when people get caught up into this absurd, ridiculous idea that, well, incline is better than flat or flat is better than incline. No, they're not. They're just different tools. They're working different angles. A wider grip bench versus closer grip bench. It's just a change in the emphasis and the strength curve. It's a change in potentially in the overuse. Does anyone really think that for advanced lifters who have high neuromuscular efficiency, that there's a massive difference in pec versus tricep recruitment by changing grip width? It's a lot smaller than you guys think it is. It can be there, but it's sometimes statistically insignificant. And even when serious powerlifters have been measured in the EMGs, a wide versus medium versus closed, they can't even tell them apart. They produce the same activity in those muscles. Hey, more novice lifters, you'll see more bias. But you'll also see those biases change when we go to different loading. So in other words, when you look at studies that look at percentage and rep work, the higher rep benching tends to focus a little more on the chest. And as you go heavier, it works more triceps on the EMG. And what you start finding with really heavy weights, it starts hitting the long head of the tricep extremely hard. That actually seems to make a bigger difference than even grip width if we go off EMG data. So what are people talking about? Same thing with flat bench versus incline. Okay, there's a slight bias away from the lower chest on the incline. There's more delt. It's not necessarily dramatically better for the upper chest. It's slightly biased. You don't think the flat bench works your upper chest? Plenty of studies show activity. They show large amounts of hypertrophy in the upper chest. Of course, and the middle and lower chest from flat benching. Dumbbells versus barbells. People say, well, the dumbbells are better for hypertrophy. No, they're not. They just give you a different range of motion. They give you a different bar path during fatigue. Here's the thing to remember with these tools. They're all pressing, and if you use any of them for sufficient volumes and workloads, every single one of them will still develop your pecs, your front delts, your triceps. So the question becomes, why do we use so many of them and rotate them? Well, that's also very simple. A lot of it's to prevent accumulation of overuse injuries, right? What's the number one cause of injuries in the gym? Overuse. Either excessive volume or excessive use of the exact same identical motor pattern or movement pattern without changing anything. Well, with some of these, they stretch the tendons more than others at the bottom. Some are easier on your shoulders. So we could argue that some of those that put the deeper stretch might have a little more hypertrophic potential. They also accrue overuse more quickly. All right, so we rotate through these to accommodate that, so that we can continue to train, because we want to do at least 2 different sorts of chest presses every week. Well, of course, our speed work really handles that. Our max work handles that. But even if we start accounting for the rep work, we want something at least slightly different than our max work. Of course, usually our dynamic work, we're changing to 3 different grips, inside the same session. So we vary the training stimulus. And that's the other thing to think about. People want to stand here and make silly-ass, goofy-ass arguments like, well, this version is best for chest. It's like, well, let me ask you a question. If you read the various literature, as well as, observe even what bodybuilders have done anecdotally who win, do you see anyone using only one exercise to build any muscle? Scientific literature says doing the same volume spread over 2 or 3 different exercises for the same muscle usually produces more hypertrophy. So that means even if you hypothetically found the best exercise, if that's all you do, you're still going to gain less muscle than if you split the volume up with another really good exercise. So that means there can't be a best. The best is to do 2 or 3 really good exercises throughout the week, and occasionally rotate them when they stall, to rotate them when you get inflammation, because all of them will make you grow. Flat, incline, decline. Wide grip, closed grip. Barbells, dumbbells. Floor press. Every single one of them work the pecs, the anterior deltoids, and the triceps. All of them. And all of them work them pretty decently. So when we start getting hung up in this idea that, oh, this is better, that's better, you don't understand training programming. When you make that type of argument, you are displaying a profound level of ignorance regarding training and training adaptation and the way the body works. And it's really a silly-ass, goofy-ass argument that it comes from ignorance. And that's okay, because most people are ignorant. Most people are not top-level coaches. But the problem is that you see people who pretend to know what they are talking about making these arguments and influencing people. Hey, that's a problem. When the reality is, like I said, you should probably use a variety of these tools. You're going to get bigger, faster. You're going to get bigger more quickly. You're going to get stronger more quickly. And you're probably going to have less inflammation if you do so. And that will lead to less injuries. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.